Hi and welcome to Stripped Down Live. I'm your host, Curt Smith. I am back after an exhausting 4-week tour with Tears for Fears. That's about as much as I can take nowadays, but I'm back for the foreseeable future. So every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, we will be here in the Streamin Garage with Stripped Down Live. I can hear you saying yay from here. And some yaying. Yay, that was a very... Elaine, I can get a better yay, I feel. Thank you. Now I feel like I'm back. Thank you. It's like, it's been a while. I got to warm them up a little bit. Anyway, we are back 8 o'clock every Wednesday. Later this evening, we'll of course be taking your questions if you have questions. You can get us on stripdownlive.com. You can follow us on Twitter at @striplive. You can even Skype in. Now, tonight's guest, the wonderful singer-songwriter Chris Pierce, we have on the show tonight for the next hour. So without further ado, we'll get straight into the music. Please welcome Chris Pierce.
Thank you. When the brown leaves fall and the winter flows, watching the seasons change, no reason at all. When the day is done and the hustle comes to a stop, and everybody in this world is humbled by God, I want to live the slow life with you. La da da da, la da da da, la da da da, la da da da. I don't want to travel the speed of light. I don't want to travel the speed of sound. All I want to do is hold you in my arms. You can jump on the cot court, but they don't make them anymore. And I don't even care. I don't need to be anywhere. I want to live the slow la da da da, 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 la da. All day, we can take all night, we can take all day, if you like. And I like the slow life with you. And I like the slow life with you. La da da da, la da da da, la da da da, la da da da. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great to be here. Thank you. I'm constantly battling, tripping and falling. They're kicking me down, so I'm rolling and crawling, and I can't crawl no more. The city is crazy, it's sadly amazing. It's constantly phasing me, trying to play me, and I might need a hand. Well, I will admit it, I've got to get with it, but don't be a critic. I try to forget it alone, I don't stand a chance. So will you stand next to me, fight with me, smile with me, rise with me, fall with me, trip with me, crawl with me, help me to get off of the floor? Will you be my army? Will you be my army? Will you be my army, army, army? 'Cause I'd much rather suffer poor than play those dirty games. 'Cause I'm not black or white enough, but that's a broke excuse, it's lame. But listen to me, we can kill those fears away with kindness, yes it's true. I'm talking to you, will you be my army now? I'll be your army too. I'll be your army too. Oh yes, I'll be your army too. Ba 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 do 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 dee da do dee da da da. Ba ba de do 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 do. So let's lift our minds like we did the last time. Gonna feel mighty fine when we drink the red wine, moving on up the hill. 'Cause you help me be, help me see what I see. Reach out when I need, help me heal when I bleed, like I know you will. Will you be my army? 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 Army. Do do da 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 dee da da. Ba 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 dee dee da do dee da. Ba ba da 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 dee da da ba ba da do da da dee do do dee do dee do do dee. Ba ba da do dee 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 ba 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 bo bo dee da 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 da. Da 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 dee da da dee dee da da do do ba do do dee 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 do dee do dee do. Will you be my army? 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 Thank you. Thank you so much. This next song I wrote with a dear friend of mine, Marvin Etzioni, years ago. At the time I was working as a bouncer at a club in Hollywood, at a pub. And Marvin and I got together on our first meeting and wrote this song in about, I think about a half hour. It was something that his experiences and my experiences just met for our first time, and we came up with this song, and it's gone to both the big and small screens since, and it's been really cool. It's called "Are You Beautiful?" Never know when you meet someone, will she be the one? You never know And I wonder to myself, I wonder to myself, are you beautiful? Are you beautiful on the inside? On the inside, are you beautiful? Are you beautiful on the inside? On the inside. You never know when you kiss someone, will she be the one? And you never, never, never know. And I wonder to myself, I wonder to myself, are you beautiful? Are you beautiful on the inside? On the inside, are you beautiful? Are you beautiful on the inside? On the inside. Well, have I been fooled and hypnotized? I just want to see the truth in your eyes. Are you beautiful? 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 On the inside. Beautiful on the inside. I wonder to myself, have I been fooled and hypnotized? I only want to see the truth in your eyes. The truth in your eyes. The truth in your eyes. Are you beautiful? Beautiful on the inside. On the inside. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you.
Oh, that's some control you have over your voice, I gotta say. Not enough people, I think people don't realize how hard that is to kind of have that much control. I mean, being a singer myself, but you're either born with it or you're not, I think, a lot of the time. I mean, did you start at like a really early age?
Yeah, you know, I started singing around the house, and I think my folks realized at a very early age the emotional release I got from music, and they therefore pushed me and encouraged me to creatively express myself as much as I could, because they figured, you know, this was the thing that kind of got me at peace.
What kept you out of trouble when you were young?
Right, out of trouble. Yeah, yeah. And they, you know, they just saw how much I loved it. So I was very blessed to have parents that encouraged me to explore the music, you know.
I mean, well, because a lot of parents don't, I guess, at
right.
an early age. I mean, they think music is like an extracurricular thing where it's sort of, it's playtime. It's not a serious thing. But I was reading that when you were kind of really little, you would crawl around and like pick out vinyl and stuff, and your dad would play it. Is that true?
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Mostly, for what I hear, mostly like Aretha Franklin.
Right. So you had good taste back then.
That's it. That's it. Really good taste. Yeah. My mom had a big crush on Paul McCartney, so
Right.
there was always Beatles and Wings and stuff like that around, and so I pick out some of those. And so I had a lot of different kinds of influences, you know, especially coming from a very diverse background, you know. My folks listen to a lot of different kinds of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you're born in Pasadena. You said California native.
Yep.
So as you were getting older, how did that like progress for you? I mean, did you keep doing it through school years and everything else?
Yeah.
Was it always your main passion, basically?
Yeah, it was always. You know, I played and sang in choir, church choir. Went on to form bands in high school.
Right.
And then I got a music scholarship to study jazz studies at USC. And so I did that for about 4 years, and then I got taken on the road by a band named Sonia Dada. And I did that when I was around 20, and then I was on the road for a while with John Butcher. And I've just been playing around ever since, you know. So it just was kind of a natural progression.
I mean, it's never a question. I mean, let's say you're stuck. I mean, it was USC you were studying, right? I believe that.
Yeah.
Did you finish your study, or that was it? You were kind of, once the offer was there, it's like, you know what, this is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah, no, you know, I did 4 years, and I got to the point where I think I still have I think they call it like the senior recital to do. And at that point, it was either do the senior recital or
go on tour.
Or go on tour around the world in a big bus with a bunch of guys, and I chose to go on the bus, you know.
I mean, I know the thing, weirdly, I mean, because I had the same kind of thing. I was at college when I was, teacher training was my thing, and then I got offered a record contract, and it was like, I got to go do that. I mean, at the time, there's no, you know, you don't have a question.
Right.
I mean, was it the same for you where, I mean, my problem was, how do I break this to my family?
Yeah, you know, that was a big one, and I think from what my father told me, the guys from the label came to talk to them before they talked to me about it, because I was so young.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, sure, go, do it.
Well, I mean, it's great that they gave you that support, or were they just trying to get rid of you? One or the other, I'm guessing.
No, I was actually out of the house by then, so I think they wanted me to check it out and see, you know, kind of see if I could hang or not.
But I mean, isn't it great to have that kind of experience when you're so young?
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, that's a lot of things you're not going to be taught in school. I mean, to be able to travel the world at that age and to experience and appreciate it, you know.
Yeah, it was the perfect balance of education.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I'm guessing, I was listening, you know, obviously while you were playing just then, and like especially on Will You Be My Army, on that one, because the recording I have is not as much scatting as you were just doing there. And it's interesting, I was hearing a few of your songs, and there's a lot of that from the jazz influence. I mean, that kind of the college years of studying jazz.
Absolutely, yeah. And I still am friends with and fans of a lot of the cats I went to school with. So. I've been kind of trying to keep my jazz chops up as much as possible, in case anybody calls me for a kid, you know.
When you were going through, I mean, what was the point where, because I mean, it's interesting, and it's that kind of vocal styling, because it's basically meant to be where your vocal just becomes an instrument, that's it. It's not a lyric anymore, it's not, it's just, it's another instrument, it's the saxophone, it's the piano, whatever it may be, it's your chance to solo just in melody. So was that part of your training when you were studying jazz?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Eddie Jefferson, John Hendricks, a lot of great, Ella Fitzgerald, a lot of great scat singers. I not only got to study what they were doing, but part of the curriculum was to take instrumental solos and transcribe them. Right. And you know, we'd have a jury of professors we'd have to like sing a Miles Davis solo back to, or Charlie Parker solo back to. So there was a lot of great training in that, and to learn how to do that. Right.
And I guess a lot of the vocal control comes from that as well.
Yeah, from that from that I think especially, and I think the first year I took some classical training as well, which really taught me a lot about breathing.
Well, because the control you have, I mean, to go from that really soft voice to that really powerful voice, to be able to control that and still balance it, is not as easy as some people would think. I mean, that actually takes some breath training and a bunch of other, I mean, awareness of spatial awareness of your voice and where it's coming from and where in the head and where in the chest and everything else. But I guess you went through all that while you were doing it, and now it comes effortlessly.
Well, thank you. I think that's the key word is awareness, and I try to just be really aware of where my body is, what kind of where I am in the day,
Right.
And how I'm feeling, and I find myself making choices vocally on some of that stuff. It's like I don't think I can do that today, so I'm not I'm not going to go there, but it's definitely an awareness.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you are you very careful of it? I mean, when you're touring, especially the touring. I mean, you play a lot of gigs. I mean, I was looking at, I think there was 1 2-year period where you played like 300 gigs over 2 years, and which to me is like a ton, because I manage about 4 weeks, as you know, and I'm going, okay, I'm done now, need a rest. But you've got to really look after it over that period of time, surely, to be able to keep it going.
Absolutely, rest and
So no late night partying. No.
Not a lot of it.
No.
Yeah.
Not when you have a show the next day, anyway.
Right.
And taking care of it. What I find interesting about having spent the last kind of week or two listening to through both of the main albums you did, and listening to a bunch of the live recordings, and I saw a bunch of YouTube live stuff. What strikes me most, and I was trying to kind of sum up the sort of songwriting, was how optimistic you are. And I notice it because when people meet me, they tend to think I'm very pessimistic, but that's just lyrically I write about sadder things most of the time. You don't so much in your music. You're actually very positive about most things you write about.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the way you are in general? I mean, you're like the half glass full guy?
Well, I was definitely raised by optimists, but I'm a big believer in the healing powers of music, and it's like I don't write about things because I'm not necessarily an expert about them.
Right.
A lot of it's self-help, self-therapy.
Yeah.
I write about things that I'm moving towards, or where I wish I could understand more. And I think when we go through these experiences in our lives where we're down, and you and I both know it's music that a lot of times brings us up. So I found a place in music that I can really use it as I'm an only child.
Yeah.
It's always music was a place I always turned, my place of refuge. So it's always been the place where I could turn to talk about the things and get things out. I'm gonna play a song today that I wrote the day that my dad passed, and it's optimistic, but at the same time it talks about some of the
that's Static Trampoline.
Yeah. And I just think I kind of use the music and let it teach me lessons about myself.
Well, I mean, I like the honesty as well. I mean, the quiet time kind of message in the slow life, which being able to appreciate that quiet time, and the fact that a lot of people don't. They're so busy with their lives and trying to get things done that they forget to appreciate things that they already have. Absolutely. Which I think is great. And will you be my army? The fact that you're not scared to ask for help either.
Right.
Which I find refreshing also.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing, is it?
Not a lot of the time. No, not when you're supposed to be the strong one.
Right.
But let's get on with more music. I mean, because you so conveniently led us in to Static Trampoline. And as you said, there was a song you wrote after your father passed away, right?
Yeah. And I had a rehearsal that morning. I got the call that afternoon, and I had a gig planned that night. And I knew he would have wanted me to play, so I played the song. Right. Static Trampoline that night, and then ended up recording it and having it. It was the title song of my first studio recording.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into that.
All right.
Now we've so nicely segued.
All right.
And I'll be back in a couple and let you do a couple of songs.
Okay. Do you live for the moment when the moment could care less? And how can I give me some of those rose-colored glasses? Maybe then I'd let it be. I'd let it be. I jump so high, I'm in too deep on this static trampoline. On this static trampoline. How do you live for the moment when the moment could care less? And how can I get me some of those rose-colored glasses? Maybe then I'd let it be, I'd let it be. But I've got too much to do, too much to say, and I jump so high, I'm in too deep on this static trampoline, static trampoline. Time sings to me, so bittersweet, yeah. How do you push when you don't want to lose it? 'Cause once it's gone, once it's lost, it's so hard to get it back. You better believe that. And how can I get me some of those rose-colored glasses? Maybe then I'd let it be, let it be. I've got too much to do, too much to say, and I jump so high, I'm in too deep on this static trampoline, static trampoline, static trampoline. To me, so bittersweet, and time sings to me, so bittersweet on this static trampoline, static trampoline, static trampoline. Thank you so much. All right. What do we have here? All that walking on the earth, I think, is what I have up on board. You ever have that? The E string just won't stay in. All right, there we go. When a man of faith loses hope, when a man of faith has no one to hold, who's gonna show him the way? Who's gonna show him the way? When a man of faith is as far from the sun as he is his goals. When a man of faith loses love in his heart, the light in his soul, who's gonna show him the way? Who's gonna show him the way? The miracle is not walking on the water. The miracle is not walking on the water. The miracle is not walking on the water. The miracle is walking on the earth. The miracle is walking on the earth. When a man of faith is cast with shame, when a man of faith has no one else to blame, who's gonna show him the way? Who's gonna show him the way? When a man of faith is scarred by the trust he's had in love. When a man of faith is left with no answers from above, who's gonna show him the way? On the water, the miracle is not walking on the water. The miracle is walking on the earth. The miracle is walking on the earth. Day by day, the miracle is walking on the earth. Step by step, the miracle is walking on the earth. Thank you. Thank you.
Actually, it was funny thinking on the way here. I saw an interview, just wanting to put one thing straight, where someone said about static trampoline that it was an oxymoron, and I'm going, that's so wrong. If I'm not mistaken, a trampoline's always static until someone jumps on it. That
Right.
is the point. But I was just thinking of that anyway. The Walking on the Earth, which is the title of your last album,
That's right.
correct?
Yeah.
Static Trampoline was your first album.
Yep.
You can get them both, I'm guessing, on iTunes, Amazon, all the regular places.
That's right. That's right.
So, and you did a live album, or do you just sell that one? There was a Hotel Cafe album?
Yeah, I did a live at the Hotel Cafe album that was released in 2009.
Right.
Yeah.
So if any of you can get that, whatever camera I'm on, I'm not on any camera, see, they don't care about me. Oh, there. Thanks, Barry. Yes. So pick up any of those if you can. So going back, actually, I wanted to sort of talk about Are You Beautiful again, because I quickly skated by that one without thinking about it, because, as you said, it became a thing on the small screen, large screen. It was a Banana Republic ad. It was in Crash the movie. How did those things come about?
The Banana Republic ad came about. It was placed by a woman I was working with, just music placements, a company called Music for the Masses, and who's been really great with my music. And coincidentally, the Crash placement came from a party that I played at. There were about 15 people there. I was playing in a living room, and at that party was one of the supervisors, the music supervisors, and also at that party, Seal was there.
Oh, was that the time where that was how you ended up going on tour with Seal?
Yeah.
So you got two major things at a one party. That was a party worth going to.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I got invited to it, and the woman that invited me said,
"Can you get me into some of those parties?"
Hey man, you get me in.
Yeah. Okay.
She said, you should throw your guitar in the truck, and so I did, and coincidentally, that song, took me on a tour with Seal and got that placement, and then that song was also played during the Banana Republic campaign. That was played during Seal's wife's TV show. So it all kind of happened.
It was all this weird link in the end.
Okay. Yeah. So, but it's been really cool. I never, you know how it is. You write a song and get some stuff out, and it's pretty amazing where they go sometimes.
Well, they can take on a life of their own, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
So what are you have plans now for more live shows? I know we were talking outside, and you have you have a dance thing coming up that you're doing. It was being done to your music. I'm guessing you're performing with it as well. Right?
Yes, I am. Yeah, it's the Lineage Dance Company, fantastic group in Pasadena. And these women put on non-profit shows like all over, and they work with kids, they work with the community, they teach, and there's incredible dancers, and they put together about 10 pieces to my songs. So I'm bringing in the band, and we're going to play, we're doing 3 nights.
And where is it, and when?
It's at the Lineage Dance Performing Arts Center in Pasadena, Old Town Pasadena.
Right.
Yeah.
And that'll be cool.
That'll be cool.
And that's coming up.
That's coming up, yeah. And then I'm going to do like just some touring and thinking about getting in the studio here.
It's time for another album?
I think so.
Have you got? Is there a whole bunch of stuff ready and written for the next piece of work?
Yeah, I have a lot of songs written. I just started playing them out, and they're feeling good. Yeah, and I'm kind of starting to think about whether or not I should work with a producer or not this time.
That's always a difficult one, because then you kind of got to give it to someone. You got to have that faith, I guess.
Right.
Is the hard barrier, especially when you've done a couple yourself.
That's right.
It's like going, well, you know what, I'm going to listen to someone else, and they're your babies. Is that going to be hard, or do you think you're ready for that?
I think I might be ready for it. I think stepping away and letting the kids grow is one of the on their own is one of the.
Tell me about it.
I think I might be ready for it, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, we have some questions coming in now. So as I said on the second little break, we're going to take some questions from other people. So we have one Lady Diode in the chat room asks, "Do you have a favorite guitar?"
Yes, I do.
And yes, yeah, that's the answer.
No,
But he can't mention what it is because he might upset the other guitars.
no, my favorite guitar is a nylon string acoustic Yamaha that was given to me by my godmother, Deanne, when I was around 8 years old, and that's the guitar I learned on. And I still have it and play it. It's the song. It's the guitar I write most of my songs on to this day. Yeah, I don't take it on the road or anything, but
just in case. Is that because it's too precious to take on the road, or
it's
well, nylon strings are harder to record. I mean, to play live and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't have a pickup in it or anything. And
you don't want to ruin it by putting one in anyway.
No.
Now we have one from. I like the fact I'm reading the little the major auto cue. We have a cat in the audience house. I'm like, yes, cat. What? Why do I have to read it? Cat's right here.
Hey, cat.
Technology.
Technology. Yeah. A cat's saying she wants to hear more about the process when you're creating and writing a song.
Yeah, it comes any which way. I found myself lately a lot of times calling my home answering machine and leaving messages when I'm out and about on the road, or just even out running errands, or using the iPhone memo app, and I find myself using the recorder on that.
See, when you get the new iPhone 4, you can turn the camera towards you and you can sing it. You'll have a video of it.
Man, telling everybody I don't have the iPhone 4 yet. I'm not as cool as Curt yet, man. I'm working on it. We're actually going to the Apple store after this.
Yeah,
we're gonna work
it's my
out.
gift.
Yeah.
It's my gift. Yeah. I can't believe. Is that really true? Do we actually have a call on Skype? Because I think this has got to be a first for us. Is it actually a live person? Although I'm not sure about going under the name of Pooposterous.
Yes, that's right.
We'll know who it is.
He's a fan.
Okay.
Yeah, it's preposterous. Hi, Chris. Hi, Curt. It's a real privilege to be able to hear such fantastic music tonight, and I really want to thank you both for making this experience so rich. And I want to thank Streamin Garage also for making it possible.
I want to know how much Streamin Garage is paying you for this.
Right on. So, Chris, the question I have for you is, I know you do live shows all over the world, and I know that you do some opening gigs and main performances as well. So I'm interested to know, are there any features or aspects of playing an opening gig that you really like that you don't get when you're the main feature performance?
Wow. Yes, there are. I really love the challenge of getting up and getting in front of an audience that has no idea who I am, because it really makes me what we were talking about, focus and be aware and get into an awareness of where I am, what I'm doing, and it makes me really come to a fine balance. There's a fine balance between being more than you are and kind of bringing it in and being a little less than who you are, and I find that challenge very, very rewarding a lot. It really gets me. I always learn a lot about myself when I'm opening for Riding on the Wings of Bigger Birds, because it's like it really opens me up to that, and I love the here's the stage, and I love people eating, doing their thing, and first song they kind of look, second song they kind of shift, and by the fourth or fifth song they're like, all right. And so that's always cool too when it happens,
watching people sort of experience your music for
but
the
yeah,
first
that's a
time
great question.
and watching them get into it.
What's that?
It must be very exciting watching people experience your music for the first time and being drawn into it.
Yeah, always, because at the end of the day, it's my perspective on some stuff in my life, and it's people have a choice whether or not to listen or not. So it's really cool when they actually do.
Well, thank you so much for revealing my question. I appreciate that, and I'll let you to go on with the interview and more music.
Thank you.
Thanks
for the question,
Mr. Pooposterous. Lucy99 in the chat room asks, what advice could you give to someone like me who's going to school for music, but it's not what I want to do with my music? That's actually an interesting one.
Yeah. Well, I think the advice that I'd give to you, Lucy99, is that to gather as much information as you can in school, and because you can always use that out of school. I've done a lot of session work and that kind of thing where I've really used what I've learned in school, and that keeps it keeps a roof over my head a lot of times, being able to do that, and know that the theoretical aspect of music, and then that can kind of help you do what you want to do. And I'm assuming that you want to get on the road and play live. So yeah, I'd say that every little bit helps, and to just be thankful that you have the education you have.
I mean, I think also, for me, I would give the advice of do the things you want to do outside of school as much as you can.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the stuff they're learning in school is what's going to give them a basis, in the long run.
Yeah.
But if you find it a little boring or tedious, then find something that's not, and balance it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a thing with my kids right now. They have a music teacher, Afton. She's probably watching tonight. But she makes it fun for them. Not enough teachers actually know how to do that, I have to say, which is a sad thing.
Right.
Especially with younger kids, to make it interesting for them. They may not, to make them want to actually learn the nuts and bolts of music theory while making it fun.
Right.
And if it's not happening in your school, the one thing I would say is try and get that aspect out of school. Go out and play, find yourself another extracurricular teacher that maybe makes it more fun for you. But anyway. Tandy Van in the chat room asks, what do you listen to when you're just, well, I read that as just kicking ass. Oh, just kicking back. Sorry about that. Yeah.
I listen to, wow, that's a hard one. I listen to a lot of jazz, a lot of Miles Davis, Charlie Parker, stuff like that. I also listen to a lot of the great soul singers, James Carr, Otis Redding, Etta James, Aretha Franklin. I was just, complaining that my needle broke on my vinyl player, my record player. But I inherited my dad's record collection, and I have a little bit of my own, so I listen to a lot of older music, I should say. Yeah. Vintage music.
Well, for anyone younger in the audience watching, we'll stick up a photograph of what a record player is after.
It's this big
big thing that you
it looks like a black frisbee.
Exactly.
Bit,
yeah. What are these for? Suzanne in the chat room asks, was there some particular event in childhood that made you turn toward music?
No. Music's always just been a part of what I do. Kind of who I am. I think. That's short but sweet answer.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think if it's anything like most people who end up going to do music, it's like one of those undeniable things. It's just when you're young and you sing, and that's what you get joy out of, and it's sometimes the way you communicate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Some people might use art, some people might use writing, whatever it may be, but we choose music, I'm guessing. I mean, it's just the way we talk.
That's right.
But it's all good. Either one is good. Any way to express yourself is a good thing.
That and iPhone 4.
We'll talk about that after. Should never have dropped that one in. Well, let's get to the last couple of songs. I know we're going to be running out of time-ish soon, even though we don't really have a time scale because we're on the interwebs.
Right.
So, we can go for as long as we want. Some of us have got to get home to our kids. No. So we got a couple more songs to finish. Let's start with one, and then I'll just come in and say my goodbyes, and we'll let you play us out.
Right on, Curt. Thank you. What are the chances of running into you? I'm standing out on the edge, looking for proof, staring up at the stars, waiting for God to show me the way to your heart. here you are. Ooh, out of the blue, I found you again. I found you again. La da la, da 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 da. And what are the chances to find a needle in a haystack? And what are the chances to turn time back? And what are the chances? Tell me the truth. And what are the chances of ever finding you? And here you are. Here you are. Out of the blue. And I found you again. I found you again. La la la, da 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 da. La la la, da 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 da. La la la, da 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 da. La la la, da 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 da. When you lose your faith and all hope is gone, never give in. You gotta carry on, carry on. And what are the chances to find a needle in a haystack? And what are the chances to turn time back? And what are the chances? Please tell me the truth. And what are the chances of ever finding you? Of ever finding you? Of ever finding you? And here you are, out of the blue. And you're standing in front of me, and I'm standing in front of you. A needle in a haystack. What are the chances that we could turn time back? Oh, la, 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 da. The chances of finding you.
Well, fantastic. That's pretty much it for another night of Stripped Down Live. I'm tripping over wire here, but don't worry about me. Next week we have Peter Himmelman on the show, and in 2 weeks we have, which actually is on a Tuesday night, not a Wednesday night, because I'm busy on the Wednesday night, and you know, you got to work around my schedule, of course. Sorry, everyone else. We have Common Rotation. I'd like to thank Chris Pierce, of course, the crew. And of course, a thanks to Eric Greenspan of the Foundry on Melrose for introducing us to Chris. And that's one thing actually we didn't talk about, which is your winemaking.
Yeah.
Can we quickly get into that for a second?
Please.
Is this a sideline? You're a huge wine lover. I mean, you actually do have your own wine.
Yeah,
correct?
you know, basically my palate's been spoiled by friends of mine that are amazing winemakers over the years, and one day we were talking about the similarities between making music and making wine, and there were so many of them. A light bulb struck, and I'm working with some amazing people up in Napa, and we've been doing it. This is going to be our 5th vintage here in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
I wanted to get that in to make sure. And where can you actually find it as well?
You can find it at the Foundry on Melrose, as well as many other fine restaurants in Los Angeles, and it's called Ledbetter Syrah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So there, now you can taste Chris's wine as well as listen to the music. The two albums again, Static Trampoline, Walking on the Earth, yes. Walking on the Earth. I was thinking of Walking on Water, but of course that's the other line. So Walking on the Earth, Static Trampoline, you can get them both from iTunes and Amazon and pretty much everywhere else. Again, a huge thank you to Chris Pierce for being here tonight. Again, I will be back next week with Peter Himmelman, and you want to set us up for the last song?
Okay, sure. This is All That Matters Is Now. And really appreciate being here. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. After the rain, after the flood, nothing can ever take away our love. No matter what is going on, all that matters is now. No matter what is going on, all that matters is now. And I don't know why I saw the light in your face, in your eyes. And no matter what is going on, all that matters is now. No matter what is going on, all that matters is now. I won't take for granted anything that's happened. I won't take for granted anything. Having you in my life, having you by my side, and I won't take for granted anything. Nothing in the past is gonna hurt you. Nothing in the past could come between us. Nothing in the past is ever gonna hurt you. And no matter what is going on, all that matters is now. 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 No matter what, no matter how, all that matters is now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.